In the highlands of Japan, one tufty monkey likes to season its food, play in the snow, and waylay unsuspecting people in its free time. It uses all of its simian smarts to quickly learn new behaviors and then use them against their human interlopers. But being a pink-faced Eskimo in a cold climate means that the Japanese macaque needs to use every means at its disposal to survive here in life, death, and taxonomy.
Welcome back to Life, Death, and Taxonomy. It's your 30 minutes of interesting animal information. I'm Joe.
And I'm Carlos.
Thank you to Cassie for the creation of our theme song. To hear more of Cassie's music, please search Cassie Michelle on YouTube or Spotify.
And thank you to Johanna for the creation of this week's artwork. To check that out, you can follow us on Facebook or Twitter at LD Taxonomy or visit us at our home on the web at ldtaxonomy.com. And a very special thank you to our patrons, Tristan Taylor, Jesse Raspulich, Carol Raspulich, Paul Chomo, and a new patron, Richard Kaspar. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but it seems like that's the way you pronounce it. So thank you so much, everyone. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you for helping us keep the lights on.
And today we're talking about a petite pink primate in plush parkas. But more on that later.
Particularly plush parkas.
Oh, yeah.
I would even say. Got to throw some adverbs in there to get the alliteration train a-going. Mm-hmm. But yeah, what are we talking about?
We're talking about the Japanese macaque.
Sure, yeah. That's English. That's words.
The Japanese macaque.
Mm-hmm. Which is a monkey.
It's a monkey.
Small monkey. It's also known as the snow monkey for reasons that will become apparent. But we're also going to call it here the Mononoke monkeys.
Nice. And
the hateful high roller. Because I put this, someone suggested this, the Japanese macaque to me months ago, maybe like last year, and so I put it on our list, and we're finally getting to it, and it has just been thrust into the realm of topical things. So it was like, yes, we're doing something topical for once.
Do you have anything about that? Because I do, and I'll have to edit on the fly.
Yeah, that is, I cover it in its entirety.
Okay.
Unless you have something else you want to add to the end. But yeah, we miss Shark Week every year, but we're finally doing something topical this time.
It's Monkey Week now.
It is Monkey Week now. It's the week of the monkey.
It's Monkey Week now.
I am the monkey now. But how about you taxonomize this macaque for us?
Okay. Well, it's in the kingdom you know, love, and are in the kingdom Animalia. It's in the phylum Chordata. It's in the class Mammalia. You're doing a lot of the mammals now.
Am I? I feel like we had a streak of worms.
Yeah, we did.
So this is like, I feel like I'm stretching.
But listeners can't live on a diet of worms.
That's true. A diet of verms.
Yeah.
Because here we stand. We can do no other.
Speaking of order, the order is primates.
Primates?
Primates, yeah. The suborder is Haplorhini. We've done this before.
Yeah, I think when we did the gelato monkey.
Yes, old world monkeys. The infraorder is Simiformes. Simiformes?
Simiformes.
Two eyes in the middle.
That's the Power Ranger monkey.
Just like my head. Simiforms. Family. Cercopithecidae.
Cercopithecidae?
Cercopithecidae? Cercopithecides, that the robot lady is saying in my ear. The genus is Macaque. Oh no. And then the species is Fuscata. Sounds like
Fuchsiata?
a wine or a bread. Macaque fuscata. What a wonderful phrase.
What a wonderful phrase. I got that in my notes. What a wonderful phrase.
Anytime we hit the right amount of syllables with the binomial name, we say what a wonderful phrase.
Yeah, but this one and it sounds like it sounds a lot more like it. Also, they both end in A.
Yeah,
so
it has that ring to it.
But it also starts with macaca, and saying that it's a wonderful phrase after that is just delightful. But since we're in the business of naming things, it's time for my favorite part of the show, critter groups. The part of the show where I ask Gujo a question, and that question is the same every time. What is the name of a group of this animal, or what is the collective noun, or what is the term of venery? It's all the same. If you saw a group of monkeys, what would you call it? Would you say it's A, a troop of monkeys?
Yes.
B, dang it.
Everyone knows it's a troop of monkeys.
I thought we had... Everyone knows that?
Yeah. That's the one I
Troop,
think is...
army, garrison, or squad. Come on, work with me.
Army of frogs. Right?
I know. But there's multiples.
No, I knew. That's the one I think if I had to guess, like what is the premier term of venery for monkeys, I would say that troop.
So we have not done many monkeys on this show. And the only other one we did, I did barrel. So I was like, we have not done troop yet. My heart of hearts knew that troop was the answer even before I looked it up. But I was hoping that maybe I could confuse you with the others. In retrospect, I probably should have made it answer D or C. But
so you could get through them all.
So that you could listen to them all and even potentially be swayed by them. Because come on, garrison and squad, maybe. Squad of monkeys?
Yeah.
A Squirtle squad? Squirtles come in squads. Yes, so it's a troop of monkeys. Ding, ding, ding. You're correct. How did you guess it? You are so smart.
So you knew innately that it was troop. So did I. That's why I thought that everyone knew that.
Yeah, the problem is there is a limited number of terms of venery for animals, and when there are two, I'm happy enough, but I'm usually not even that fortunate.
Monkeys ain't no bird, right?
If we lose this footage, I'll have to figure out what macaca fuscata means. So don't make me do that.
Would you like to have it described to you?
Sure.
Macaques are monkeys. They look like monkeys. But these monkeys are covered in thick tan to gray fur. Really thick. They're full furred. That thick tan grayness covers their entire body, except they are pink of face. They have pink little faces coming out of their, poking out of their gray and tan fur. So they really do look like petite pink people in plush parkas.
They're very pink.
They are.
They're very sunburned, it looks like.
Or like cold wind burned.
Yeah. They look very uncomfortable.
But we've talked about it before. Larry the Cucumber has told us that monkeys have tails. These particular monkeys have very short and stubby tails. So if
Larry
you just
would think it's
glanced
an
at
ape.
it, Larry might think it was an ape. But
And it's old
monkey.
world too, so
Yeah.
there are a lot more New World monkeys than Old World monkeys.
I guess baboons are old world monkeys, and they don't always have the most long, prominent monkey tails as you are, like a New World spider monkey does.
Yeah, they've got the little short tails.
Yeah. So let's talk about how big they are. Welcome to the Beloved Measure Up segment, the official listener's favorite part of the show, the part of the show that's introduced by you when you send in audio of yourself saying or chittering the words measure up into ldtaxonomy@gmail.com. Did I say that it was a part of the show that where we present the animal size and dimensions in relatable terms? It's fun for the whole family.
You just did.
I messed it up a little bit. I forgot to mention it was a quiz. I don't have I'm going without a net, and as you could tell.
Who's Annette? Annette's.
I wish
Annette
I could
Birkin?
say that's who sent in a new Measure Up intro this week, but we have no new Measure Up intro this week. So that means we're going to dig deep into the archives and find an old one, a greatest hit, if you will. And I'm going to scroll. I'm just going to scroll. Let's scroll to the ages. Okay, without further ado, the listener's favorite part of the show.
Measure up.
That's a solid measure up.
Yeah.
And among the earliest, December 8th.
Is it?
2018. From Chris. Chris from Play Comics. Play Comics is another podcast.
We guessed it on that show one time. Back in our old Thunder Smash days.
Yeah, we did.
If you're still listening, Chris, thank you.
Indeed, thank you. That was
thank you for still listening.
That really set the tone for what Measure Up would be.
Yeah, we were still just coming into our own. It was a coming of age story in those first couple of years when we were figuring out what people liked, and unfortunately, Measure Up was one of those things.
Well, with that, let's get into their height. They're about 57 centimeters or 22.4 inches. How many Japanese macaques go into the height of the tallest mountain in Japan? I could have sworn we've done this before, but I went to ldtaxonomy.com and I went to the search bar and I typed in the name of this mountain and it did not show up, so maybe we haven't.
Wow.
So you get a 5% bonus if you guess what the mountain is.
I won't, because I literally only know the name of one mountain in Japan.
What is it?
And if it's not this mountain, then I will not get the 5% bonus.
Say it.
Say it. K2. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
It's Mount.
No, that's wrong.
Mount Fuji.
That's correct.
Is that the tallest mountain in Japan?
It is.
Cool, because that was the only thing I could have possibly guessed.
Well, here's a hint. Mount Fuji is the tallest mountain, and it's on the island of Honshu. Did you see it? Have you ever been there?
How have we not talked about this? I went to Mount Fuji.
I thought we had, but I couldn't see if we might have, but I just didn't show up. It's actually, do you know what it is? Actually, a dormant version of
a volcano.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm very smart.
Do you know when it last erupted?
Are you going to give me a very obvious hint that could help me out?
It was
a long time ago.
Before the United States was a country, an independent country.
The 1600s.
Close. It's the same century as the United States becoming a country.
The 1700s.
1707 was the last time it erupted.
That is a little too recent for my liking.
Really? There are certain volcanoes that are erupting now.
Yeah, I don't want to be near them.
Neither would I. The surrounding forest is said to be haunted by spirits and yokai, which are little demons that live in a boy's watch.
What?
There was a cartoon called Yokai Watch.
Is that just Ben 10?
Where I guess it was kind of similar to that. Yeah.
Or is it more like Ben 10 or is it more like Indian in the Cupboard? I'm confused.
I can't remember if they were summoned from the watch or if the boy became the demon, the yokai. I think they were summoned. I think it was like a Pokemon thing.
Okay. Interesting. Kind of like a Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, no, it was a game series, not a show.
Yokai Watch.
Maybe it was both.
Yes, I have been to Mount Fuji. I don't know if I ever told the story on the podcast, but it's not really that interesting of a story. I took a bus to the town that Mount Fuji that's under Mount Fuji's shadow, and it was very cloudy, so I couldn't see any of it. And I sat at a cafe and read the entirety of the first Dark Tower Stephen King novel all day while waiting for the clouds to disperse. And I got a 5 or 6 second glimpse of the summit through a parting of the clouds. And then on my way out, while I was waiting at the bus station, I just took a picture of the postcard picture of Mount Fuji.
That sounds like my experience with the Statue of Liberty, except for it was like really far away. I was seeing it from the mainland, and it was tiny. And I could have spent 4 hours in a line to go and take the ferry to go and do it. But I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'd rather go to a restaurant that exclusively serves different styles of gnocchi. And that's what I think.
That sounds way better. Plus, you can see the Statue of Liberty from, I think, the Brooklyn Bridge. So just look at it from there. And then watch Liberty Mutual commercials. And you basically got the whole, you basically got the skinny.
Supervillains are always trying to steal it anyway, so who knows how long it's going to even be.
Yeah, so actually, from that perspective, you probably should have gone to see it because it is the litmus test for has America been destroyed or taken over. If Cloverfield and Day After Tomorrow and all that stuff are to be believed, then the Statue of Liberty is kind of the flag. Like, if it's down, then we're done. But yeah, so that.
Any idea how many monkeys go into this mountain? If you had to climb a ladder of monkeys to see the summit instead of viewing it through the haze, how many monkeys would you have to climb?
It'd take a while. Let's say that the summit it's tough because the base of it, if I remember right, is pretty high above sea level. So if we're going by sea level, it may make a difference, or just the base. But I'm gonna say 12,000 feet. That seems like a lot because I do know that, like, the average person can summit Mount Fuji with effort, but it's not like you need to be a professional climber in order to make it up to the top, like Everest or K2. But 12,000 feet is basically a third of that, so of Everest. So I think it's doable.
22.4.
6,400 monkeys.
Final answer.
Yeah, 6,400 monkeys.
The correct answer is 6,600 monkeys.
Oh, with my 5%. That's like, is that perfect? Hold on, let me divide that by 0.05. No, wait, that was wrong.
Mount Fuji is 3,776 meters or 12,389 feet. You're learning to estimate mountain sizes.
Oh, that extra 5% actually puts me over. But if it's a 5% margin for error, then I'm right on the money.
You got a nursing school victory. It's been a while.
No, I got a. I mean, it is a nursing school victory, but goodness, that was a 96.
Yeah, you got a full on A.
Full on A. That was I'm proud of myself. So anyway, for you out there in podcast,
All you have
I'm gonna
to
go to sleep.
all you have to do is have seen the mountain in order for you to get that right.
That's not true.
It-
See the mountain and also know how tall it is.
no.
and
I
then do
mean,
the
like,
math.
in order to get mountains right for measure up for in the future, all you have to do is have seen it. Like that's the luck that you need. You need to go there. You need to study
I
it with
see.
your own eyes.
I have not seen all that many. I've traveled quite a bit, and I actually haven't seen all that many famous mountains.
Next time, I'm gonna
So-
say how many monkeys go into Mount Trashmore in South Florida.
In off of Sample in
Yeah.
the Turnpike.
Let's talk weight. They're 11.3 kilograms or 25 pounds. How many Japanese macaques go into the weight of wasabi produced in Japan each year? Here's a hint.
Oh goodness.
Wasabi is actually notoriously difficult to produce. It requires moist soil, shade, and between 40 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Most wasabi, apparently, is not true wasabi. Like, there's something called Japanese horseradish. I don't know if that is wasabi, a different kind of wasabi. But that's like what's a lot of... There's a lot of dubious information about, including the amount per year that I ruminated on this freaking measure up question for a long time trying to find information. When I ask a country how much of a staple product it produces, I expect a well-sourced answer.
I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that wasabi is not a staple of Japan. It's not like if they're starving, they're gonna. Oh, well, thank
Fair
goodness
enough.
we have wasabi.
Not a staple, but like a famous thing, a famous product.
It's like we've got rice, we've got bread,
Yeah, those
we've
are
got
staples.
water, and we've got wasabi
Yeah.
to make it all go down smooth. And also to make sure we never, ever, ever have clogged sinuses.
I think it's like 12 grams of it can kill you. Like,
It's not a lot.
not a lot,
It's
but way
like
more than
de-
any
deadlier
normal
than
person
Ambien.
would eat in a typical sitting.
Yeah. My experiences with wasabi have been mercifully limited.
It's 12 grams of the toxic chemical in wasabi. So that'd probably be a lot more wasabi.
12 grams of wasabi seems like something that someone would do on a dare.
I mean, there's wasabi eating contests. So
Yeah. So those should be lethal based on...
I think sometimes they are.
Really?
I think people have died in wasabi eating
Goodness.
contests.
Interesting. Well, we did talk about that one person who died in a roach eating contest in a Florida man. All right. Per year, 500 tons. That's I don't even know why I had to do the math for that. It's 1 million pounds. Divided by 25, 40,000. 40,000 monkeys worth of wasabi.
Final answer.
Yeah.
You got a 50%.
Goodness
You got
gracious.
an F. 80. It's 80,000 macaques.
Oh man, I almost said 1,000 tons,
It's
and I was
1,000
like, "That's
tons.
too much." Ah,
Again, this is dubious information. So maybe
you imagine if
there's
I
a
said
world in
1,000
which you're
tons?
away. Yeah, it's a
this would have
round
been the
number.
best episode we've ever done.
Let's talk some fast facts before we get into the major fact.
Sure.
My fast facts about macaques are thusly. Macaques are semi-terrestrial and will spend time in trees and on the ground, such as the life of a lot of old world monkeys, including baboons. Their thick coats allow them to be the northernmost monkey, besides us when we visit Canada. Japanese macaques society is matrilineal. which means females. It's around these female-led groups. Monkeys stick with their moms. In other words, their family groups, especially matrilineal.
Matrilineal sounds like marriage. It's based on marriage, like matrimony.
Matrilines. It's a little French girl that wears yellow.
I'm matriline.
Females will stick with their mother's social group all their lives, while males will move out before they reach sexual maturity. Troops will contain several family groups. I knew this right off the bat because
you already
written about
had
it.
to research it. I'm always afraid of that, like that you're just gonna in your research find. But
I don't think that I think I wrote troops because it said like large groups, and I wrote that. Macaques will communicate through vocalizations, including coos, alarm calls, and something called gurneys. G-I-R, not G-E-R. With their soft vocalizations. Why? Why make up a word?
Soft vocalizations. So does that mean that John Mayer gurneys?
Yeah, he does.
I've been driving 85.
You're singing.
Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. That's gurneying right there. I'll concede that.
Remember when you decided to sing more in an episode? Is that because somebody told you should?
Somebody said they liked the song, and I think it was the Bison episode where I came up with a new version of Where the Buffalo Roam because none of that, or Home on the Range because it's inaccurate.
Yeah.
And someone was like, I like the song. So
there
you go.
Japanese macaques are intelligent. What a surprise. The Japanese macaque population is growing and to the point that they are clashing with humans. After World War II, conservation efforts were extremely successful. Too successful. There's too many monkeys. And monkeys can cause significant damage to property, steal food, and they even attack children sometimes, which is not good. I'll leave it there because I think I have one more thing, but I think you're covering it. So without any more ado-ing, let's hear some major fact.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I will expound on most of those things. The major fact is called one belligerent and smart potato. So these monkeys are particularly smart, like you said. They've been shown to pick up learned behaviors, and very specific ones too, and pick it up relatively quickly. So one study involved having researchers leave sweet potatoes on the sand near the ocean, and
what? Let me just conduct some scientific research and drop some garbage on the beach.
Sweet potatoes are not garbage; they're delicious, and the monkeys know it. So, but most of the monkeys brushed off the sand before eating it, which isn't that effective if you've ever tried to eat something that has fallen in the sand. But one monkey named Emo, probably Emo, dunked her potatoes in the nearby river, to get the sand off, which was a lot more effective. And soon the other monkeys in her barrel started doing the same. They were all dunking their potatoes in the river to wash them off. But Emo went a step further. And she taught the other monkeys to dunk their potatoes in the ocean for a little salt seasoning. And that's not a euphemism. They would even do it after every bite. So they would dunk the potato into the ocean, take a bite, and keep doing that just to season every bite. Which, if I had to eat just raw sweet potatoes, first of all, I would have just immense jaw strength. And second off, I would want some salt on it, which makes sense. But this wasn't a behavior that was it was passed down through generations, but it didn't disperse through the whole troop of monkeys over the course of generations. It happened over the course of just a few weeks or months. So they observed Emo doing this, tried it, and decided they liked it. And as more monkeys jumped on the bandwagon, she's a trendsetter among monkeys. And researchers also observed that same trailblazing monkey, Emo, chucking wheat mixed with dirt or sand into the water. So they would put some wheat on the ground, and rather than try to pick the wheat specifically out of the dirt or sand, she would just grab the whole chunk of it with all of all of it together, and then she would throw it in the water, and the dirt and sand would sink and the wheat would float, and then she'd go into the water and eat the wheat that was floating.
So she invented shredded wheat cereal.
Well, she invented in Monkey Land, which sounds like a blast. I want to go to Monkey Land.
Is it anything like Monkey Town?
Actually, you know what? I've been to a place called Monkey Land in South Africa. It's called Monkey Land, and it's just like an open reserve with tons of monkeys swinging in the trees overhead. And there's feeding stations, and they can land on your shoulder and stuff. It's very cool. So I don't even have to wonder if it's going to be a cool place, because I know it is. No, she invented
pre-washed
like
vegetable goods?
separating the wheat from the chaff.
Yes, okay. From the wheat from the dirt.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a centrifuge, but it's nothing like a centrifuge. So another learned behavior that these monkeys have picked up, and this was decades ago, but another female monkey. Again, we're seeing a trend. These are female monkeys. This is the matrolines. Another female monkey named Mukibeli. She wandered into a hot spring while trying to add some soybeans that had fallen in, and she found that she liked it. And remember, these monkeys live in very cold climates. They are the furthest north wild primates that there are, and they have very thick fur, so usually they're pretty chilly. Finding a hot spring, this is a good find, and deciding to use it is even better. So she wandered in and stayed there for long enough for other monkeys to observe her doing that, and then she would come back as the days went on, and other monkeys started to join her, and now these monkeys enjoy the hot springs. They're high rollers. They're in the high roller suite.
They have a hot tub culture.
It's a hot tub time machine. It's not a time machine. And they even roll snowballs to play it with. There isn't even a survival aspect to that. You could just look up pictures of Japanese macaques rolling snowballs and playing with them. It's certifiably adorable.
You could put this in a loony bin. It's so cute.
You could institutionalize the cuteness here, which is great. They just look like little Eskimos with just big. Holding a big snowball. You're looking at it now. It's just little Ewoks with the snowballs, standing on two legs. Standing on their hind legs and holding with their arms the snowball. It is very cute. But
there's one making a snowman, like by accident,
stacking the snowballs on top of each other.
Yeah.
But that's crazy because it's not just a wad of snow. It is a snowball. They roll it, for no other reason than to play, which is delightful. But what is not so delightful is the completely unexpected topical nature of this episode. Like I said earlier, this has been topical. The destruction of their mountain forest habitat has driven them into the nearby villages and cities, like you mentioned. At first they were endangered, and then they were very not endangered, and now they're at everybody's doorstep. And one such city that has entered the news recently, the zeitgeist, is a city called Yamaguchi, which is not it's not the tiny Neopets that everyone had on their backpacks in the early aughts. It's the Japanese city that is currently experiencing the wrath of nature itself. In true Princess Mononoke-esque fashion, the macaques have spent the last month or so attacking residents of this mountain city, which is probably at the bidding of some sort of immortal forest deity, but researchers aren't 100% sure about that yet. So far, more than 50 Yamaguchians have been attacked. No one has been seriously injured, so I'll start by saying that we're not making light of anyone being seriously injured. But people have started carrying around umbrellas and tree trimming shears to defend themselves as they go about their business, because the forecast always calls for monkeys. They will mostly sneak up and grab the legs of women, children, and elderly people. One elderly man was attacked in his sleep, and attacked, I think, involves like it was sitting on his chest when he woke up and slapped him. Not like, I don't think anyone's really been bit. Again, no serious injuries, but just like being assaulted by these monkeys. City officials have told people to lock their doors and windows, and they've even hired a team of specialized hunters to catch this terrorist troop, this belligerent barrel of monkeys. But the monkeys are hard to trap because they're not in it for food. Like the Joker, they're simply agents of chaos. They're just doing it to get to mess with people that have encroached on their mountain home. Because if they want food, there's lots of studies out there involving sweet potatoes. So, and that's all I got. They're very smart. They like to eat their food in particular ways, and now they're attacking everybody in Yamaguchi.
So they don't bite anyone? It's not.
It doesn't seem like anyone's been like
really injured. I know there was a
really
4-year-old kindergartner attacked.
Yeah, one came into a school. They actually caught and killed that monkey. But there are a lot of monkeys in the city. So right now, people's best bet is to carry tree trimming shears.
Although the city has asked for them not to be hunted.
Because they have their own hunting party.
Right.
They have their own wild hunt. What they don't want is civilians specifically going out of their way to kill monkeys. But they want them to defend themselves if a bunch of monkeys
attack the kindergartners.
Like attack your kids and stuff, which is 100% what I would do. Not attack kindergartners, but defend my kids. I don't want there to be any ambiguity there. So yeah, you got anything else?
That's all I got.
All right. So for you out there in podcast, that was the Japanese macaque. So take a bath in the hot springs, roll up a snowball, and execute nature's fury like the eco-terrorist macaques here in Life, Death, and Taxonomy.
Hey Taxonomy Titans, I just want to remind you that we now have a Patreon. Patrons can see full video episodes and get shoutouts on the show. But ultimately, it's a way for you to help us cover some costs and get even better. Still, reviews are the best way to help us grow. So if you haven't left one yet, we'd really love to hear from you. As always, thanks for listening and engaging.
Life, Death, and Taxonomy is my favorite in the world podcast.
Oh no.
It's like playing Final Fantasy VII all over again.